So this is not the video you were expecting, but whatever.
Dude, an electric shock?
Welcome back to Lamilli's channel, where I talk about the Hello Neighbor 3 prototype, which was released pretty recently. And wow, I really have some conflicting thoughts about this. Now, I'm generally still optimistic about this game and its development process, although there are quite a bit of decisions and quirks that do have me a bit concerned for the future of this game. Now, I know this is still a prototype, and that they will totally fix the games, so I shouldn't be complaining. But there is still a lot to talk about, even for a remotely small prototype. So with my Hello Neighbor books video being in development hell, I decided to make this quick video on my current thoughts about Hello Neighbor 3. Also, I'm gonna keep this short since I have like other projects I'm currently working on right now, So usually this section of the video would cover the history. However, I feel that it would be a waste of time for all the exposition on such a small video. But I do want to mention a couple things, mainly the development and how it compares to the other Hello Neighbor games. For starters, this is the most open that Eerie Guest Studios has been, creating devlogs, joining interviews, and just sharing so much information about their desires for the project, probably to avoid another situation of lack of communication leading to disappointment. Also, it's really important to note that the prototype was initially released with closed access, where you would need to put a Steam key that you would obtain from the Discord server. So I'm banned from that place for a completely unknown reason, which sucks. Thankfully, the other way you could get the game was by updating RBO, which I had installed previously. But still, apparently all the Steam keys ran out really quickly, leading to some people being rightfully upset, but it doesn't matter since the game was available to everyone like a day later. It's also incredibly important to mention that this build was barely marketed. No YouTubers, no trailers, only a devlog and a couple of tweets. This was made for the fans, and I could see why. They probably just want to avoid people shitting on the game, even though it's only a prototype and just other stuff. But moving away from that, the presentation itself is incredibly unique. The logo, for starters, has a new font with the removal of the locking key, instead having this unique icon. Actually, the visuals are so different from what we're used to. And honestly, it looks really good. I think it perfectly represents the cozy yet eerie atmosphere the team is achieving, and it works so much better than the original. There's new body shapes and new models for just about everything. But let's take a step back and look at the title screen. With text straight out of Scratch.io, we are given our story straight up, where our objective is to find a good cell signal to call a taxi and leave. The background is pretty cool too, with this guy again, who has long ass arms. Pretty spooky. Now, my first experience was loading to the game, having to mess with the graphics because it was killing my computer, then breaking into a house, hearing someone get snatched, then breaking into another house, then breaking into another house, putting together this statue, taking a trip to the gas station, finding this generator, finding the Ferris wheel, and being stopped because Raven Brooks got too spooky. This game is pretty confusing, and it takes a ton of trial and error just to know what to do, which already concerns me. One of the main things that the original game suffered from was the lack of direction and exposition, leading to players being very confused. The team wants to make an open sandbox game where every choice is the right one, and yeah, it could go bad in so many ways. For one, what if the player does certain stuff incorrectly, leading to a point where nothing interesting can be done to progress? Or what if certain obstacles require precise events and items to be dealt with in order to play out correctly? Look, I'm hoping for the best, but will Eerie Guest Studios execute this game very well? I have no clue. But getting back on track, there are a lot of mechanics here too, like breaking items with their crowbars and saws, and fixing them with tape and screwdrivers, which have a durability system depending on how many times you use it. Other items exist like food, which give you a temporary speed boost, but who cares about that when you have the wacky characters? The first one to mention is the sign Vandal, who is very mischievous. One of the first things he does is break down this sign, leading to whoever drives through crashing their car. He will roam around and chase you if you get close. It's important to mention that if you provoke a character, they will chase you, and if you are caught, you will be teleported to somewhere random, with your items being left in your last known whereabouts. Later in the day, he will break the generator, which will Home Alone 2 shock him, stunning him until the next playthrough. Also, his design is pretty cool. That's really all I gotta say about him, honestly. Jacob is the next character, who will start off in his home, and shortly go into his car and drive away. However, with the broken sign blocking the road, he will crash his car, leading to him having to take a shortcut through the dark forest, ultimately ending his time. But if you go out of your way to fix the sun before anything catastrophic happens, he will make it to his 9 to 5 at the gas station. This is a pretty good sneak peek at events and how they could change depending on what you do. Pretty cool. Iris is up next, and she's honestly kinda boring. She starts off with a statue at her lawn, and soon enough will bring it to the festival center, where if the base isn't fixed, she will just fuck off. But if it is fixed, she will place a statue, then fuck off. That's it. And lastly is the Forest Dweller. When playing the game, you are either in an illuminated area or a dark area, which is dangerous. If you are in this dark area for too long, the Forest Dweller would catch you, making you start over. And he could also catch other characters, including Iris and Jacob. Now, although he doesn't have a finished model, we could already see what he looks like. And he's pretty cool. He's going on my thumbnail. The way to beat this game is to put this statue back together, then breaking it to get this random lightning pole. Next, you want to wait for the sign guy to break this generator. He will be stunned, which allows you to step in and fix it. This offers an illuminated path to the Ferris wheel, where you put this pole in the machine thing. Then you have to wait for the storm to inadvertently power the wheel and get a signal at a certain height. Nikita said that beating this build was going to be difficult, which is fine. But if you have to do these types of intricate shenanigans during the full release, that won't be very fun. There's some things you could do besides the normal ending, mainly keeping everyone alive to start the festival. You can also do some other random stuff, but besides that, that's it. There are only a few outcomes, that being getting caught by the Forest Dweller, getting electrocuted one way or another, staying alive too long and just dying, or getting the good ending. But even though this game is only 8 minutes long, it still shows the direction of the project and what we could expect. The environment and map is small but great. The characters are different enough while also being unique in their own events, and there are a ton of special mechanics that really make this game more adventurous, along with being a better sandbox game. However, one major thing to mention is the neighbor. He is not here. To my knowledge, this is the first build of a Hello Neighbor game that doesn't have the man Mr. Peterson. He is nowhere to be seen, and that perfectly represents how this game will be, because this isn't a Hello Neighbor game. From the looks of everything, this won't be focused on an advanced AI who learns from your every move, or you have to break into his basement to find out his secrets. Although spin-offs obviously steered away from this concept, the two mainline games still maintain this core. Even the sequel, where it was more focused on the town as a whole, still had the neighbor who was a main antagonist and held the mystery you had to uncover. Hell, even the missing kids, which were carried from the first game, are the reason your player even came to this town in the first place. But Hello Neighbor 3 is moving away from all of that. The only characters returning are the neighbor and the guest, who don't even look to be the main antagonists. The core concept is not close to what you would imagine a Hello Neighbor game to be. Even the art style is completely brand new, ditching the wacky and uneven feel from any other released game. Even the logo is different, straying so far away from the norm. Like I said, this isn't a Hello Neighbor game, and maybe that's for the better. This franchise has always been seen in a bad light. Just another mascot horde cash grab made for greed, lies, misinformation, and terrible AI with the excuse that it would be fixed later on has always been associated, especially by YouTubers. Also, Nikita, at this point the head of the series, now has the opportunity to make the game he wants without any interference. It's clear why this game is so different from the rest, but not only is the game different, but so is the development and presentation. The team is now open about what they want to do with this project while still knowing that they might not be able to do everything they want. They are showing real gameplay footage and posting development logs detailing their process, and the videos are amazing. Even them releasing the prototype build without any trailer or marketing is very different from what we're used to. This is all for the fans and really no one else. Hell, even the YouTubers who covered this game didn't even find out about it until later because they didn't even know the game existed.
Talking about the new design of Mr. Peterson on Twitter, and it looks really good. I really like the style of it, so I'm looking forward to checking this out. It looks like they've changed the style, and I really like it.
It really seems to me that this is basically a soft reboot for the franchise. However, no matter what they do, there's still the possibility that it happens again. What if the cycle repeats and this game ends up being disappointing? This project is already ambitious, and the team is clearly not afraid of changing everything. So what if they change it all once again and people end up not liking it? What then? Will Hello Neighbor 4 come around and the same thing will happen? Also, why do we need 3 games and even more alphas? Shouldn't the series move on from games in general? Is it necessary to once again attempt an ambitious game? Do we even need Hello Neighbor 3? Look, this series is changing, and I'm not sure if I like it. Now what they are planning is pretty cool, but that also means getting rid of almost if not everything that the series has presented, elements that I grew up with and have become so attached to. But the general consensus is that this is an amazing next step, and I have to agree. The new direction is intriguing, arguably better than its predecessors. I mean, it's universally accepted by everyone for good reason. It's just that I might be blinded by nostalgia. I love these games even though they kinda suck, mainly because they were a big part of my childhood. I kinda grew up with them. It's like Minecraft players not being able to accept new updates that are coming out. So what are my thoughts on Hello Neighbor 3 so far? Well, it's promising. The game looks good and Eureka Studios is steadily improving, although I'm still nervous that once again, the project will have a promising start, then change over time and end up disappointing everyone. If this game is bad, and I'm gonna say this right now, I will leave the franchise. I will stop discussing it and move on. This is their last chance to make something great, so if this series doesn't finally learn from their mistakes, they never will. So, we'll see soon.